We're on it.
Well, it is spring, and that means it's time to give your trees a little extra TLC after all the snow and winter months.
It's easy to forget about them because they're not really blooming yet, right? They're just sort of sticks in the ground at this point. But we've got some expert advice here. Michael Sundberg from Denver Davey Tree Office. Michael, good to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So let's talk about it. We've got trees. You know, I've got a couple of younger trees in my yard right now. And I was just thinking yesterday, because what I do is I take the snow and I dump it at the base of the tree. Is that a bad idea?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Good idea.
You know,
okay.
You're doing
trees
it right.
always need the extra moisture. We were really dry last fall, but we're catching up now finally with all the snow recently.
Okay.
But if you can put that extra snow around your trees, it's nice slow water, and it's definitely good for them.
Awesome.
So.
All right, so we're walking around the yards. What are we looking for? What are some red flags?
So some of the things you'd want to be cautious about would be, you know, decays, cracking. If you're getting bark that's peeling or missing, you know, that's going to be troublesome, especially once they leaf out and catch all that extra weight. If you have any flaws or, you know, hidden weak spots in the trees, they're going to be in more trouble than the rest.
Okay,
sure.
If I wrapped my trees, I can probably take those wraps off pretty soon here. Should I be fertilizing trees?
Yeah, now's a great time to fertilize. The trees are starting to kind of wake up and starting to pull more nutrients from the soil, so it'd be a good call to fertilize them, something that's slow release so the trees can eat kind of like they do when they're in the forest, when the soil's all get broken down, leaves and everything. So
they miss the forest. But.
Yeah, they do.
When it comes to planting, what are some extra tips you have this early in the spring?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing would be, you know, consulting with like an arborist or a local garden center on what tree to plant, because the biggest thing is, you know, people put the wrong tree in the wrong spot, and that just leads to like a lifetime of problems.
Well, and if I see some issues that look concerning, you know, it could be an issue of a wrong tree being in the wrong spot. That's obviously a little bit more difficult to fix that. But, I mean, you guys analyze for that stuff, right? You can do soil sample testing.
Yeah, and just knowing, like, you know, how big is the tree going to get or what kind of trees are best adapted for here, you know, that puts you on a path to success. And then when you're going to go plant it, you want to be sure you plant it properly. A lot of improperly planted trees will have, you know, problems forever because of how it was installed if it wasn't done right. So.
All right, so good news, we've gotten a lot of snow in the past couple of months. That should help us in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting caught back up on moisture is going to go a long way. I think that's kind of our biggest problem with growing trees in Colorado is we're kind of a high altitude desert, so it's tough to get moisture here to the trees, but when we get them, they're happy about it.
Not a lot of native trees here necessarily. I mean, a lot of the stuff we're trying to grow here is not native to Colorado. Are there any trees that are kind of no-brainers that you can kind of plant anywhere and they'll grow pretty well here, or do you really need to know the area? Or what do you suggest?
You know, I'd say when you're looking for like native trees, you're right, the list is pretty short.
Yeah.
I know like Colorado State University has a nice page that lists the different ratings for trees that you can plant in Colorado, but you know, I know a lot of the maples and oaks are kind of your two dominant types that people are planting a lot of, but you can always go off the radar a little bit with, you know, catalpas and Kentucky coffee trees that are a little bit more adapted to the dryness.
Coffee tree?
Yeah.
It doesn't grow coffee.
No, it just looks like little coffee beans.
That would be too good.
I got real excited.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Imagine that. Like, just like
the price of coffee
Starbucks
beans
coming
right
from
now?
the branches.
I know.
Totally.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
and
thank
how
you for
can people
having
get
me.
a hold of you guys?
If you know, you go on the internet and look for Davey Tree, you can find our phone numbers to catch our local offices.
Easy to find.
Easy to find. That's right.
All right, let's send things over to Kylie with a look at our